Hey San Antonio, this is Ron from the MetalWorks. Tonight, I am at the White Rabbit with the Kings of Hardcore. Brings me great pleasure to welcome back to the show my man Lou and Craig from Sick of It All. How you guys doing, man? Welcome back to San Antonio.
What's up, man? It's good to be back.
God damn, I love you guys. How you doing, Greg?
Good. A little tired. I just had some Mexican food. My stomach's like out to here.
Guys, definitely San Antonio has always been in the band's repertoire. You guys have always had a great following here. I think that's where I want to start off, man. You guys toured extensively for Built to Last. What did the band do after the touring was over?
We took most of '98 off just to write the new record because we were working on a new deal with Fat Records. We were leaving East West. We just wanted to sit down and make sure we wrote the best record we could at the time. So in '98 we did 2 tours. We went to Australia and New Zealand for like about maybe almost 2 weeks, and then we went to South America for a week.
Did you do Japan too?
Not '98. We did it in '97, and again we did it in '99, but we skipped '98. We didn't go anywhere.
No break or relaxation from the band. Always constantly working.
We took that when we took the summer off. It was like we would write and all that, but we didn't tour. We didn't do much else, you know. It was cool, relaxed, you know.
Cool. Craig, the record is already out. People are already talking about it. Definitely Sick of It All the way. I mean, from the first note. At the same time, you guys are keeping it, you know, innovative. At the same time, how do you compare this record to the last one, if you even want to do that?
It's hard to say. I think if anything, on this record we kind of threw ourselves back a little. In other words, it was more live in the studio. With the last one, we layered stuff a little bit more. Basically, we just try to do what works, and you know, no matter what kind of songs we write, they always sound like us because of the way we play our instruments. Like it's hard to explain it, but like the way Armand hits the drums, the way I hit the bass, the way he sings, the way Pete plays the guitar. Even if we did a ballad, it would sound like us. So you never have to worry about us getting too good because we're just not that good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? No, but seriously, I appreciate the respect and all that. And I think that just with this album, we were more raw about it, you know? And like as far as songwriting goes, we put a lot of time into the writing of the songs. It's just how we actually physically record sometimes varies. You know, what techniques. This time it was just plug in and play.
Did you maybe look for any new people to work with on the record, as far as producers or engineers?
Really. Our idea was just to do it ourselves, but we wanted a good engineer. So we got a guy by the name of John Seymour, who we met through a mutual friend of ours, and he was really easy to work with, great guy, and you know, now he's like in the gang. You know, he just was like really easy to deal with, you know what I mean? He was like, you tell him exactly what you want, and he could pull it right out of his ass, no problem.
Craig just mentioned the new deal with Fat Records. I think a lot of people are talking more about the label switch going from like a major back to an indie. Does that even impact the band at all? I mean, of course, not the music, but as far as like other things are concerned, is that a significant part?
Not really. I mean, the fact of the matter is, being on Fat Records, we're probably financially better off now, you know? And the deal that we struck with Mike from NoFX, who runs Fat Records, with his wife, they gave us a very generous deal, you know. Not so much as in like they handed us a ton of money, but the royalty rate is better than any band we know has ever gotten. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous when you see bands working hard for years and years and not making a dime off their albums. They're only making them off of touring, like we were doing for the last few years. And he's a man who tours with his band, but makes money off the records also. And he said, you know, he made a label that he can still make money and be fair to the bands on his label, you know. Which is what I think is a step in the right direction. I wish more people would follow that, you know.
Also, I think much has been said about the fact that Fat Records is a West Coast label.
Yeah, very melodic bands on there. We kind of stick out like a sore thumb, you know. So,
but I think that even makes you more unique, you know, because, you know.
Well, we told Mike, we were joking with him. We said, like, so when we sign it, we're going to have to take singing lessons. And he was like, no way. Because I want you guys for you. You know, I want Sick of It All. I don't want fucking Sick of It All trying to be, you know, Blink-182 or something like that, you know.
You guys have continued to maintain a strong presence in the underground. People who watch Rob's MetalWorks have seen the new video, Potential for a Fall. I saw that video, man. I laughed for like the first 4 or 5 times I saw it, just laughing, man. How did the concept for the video come out and stuff like that?
We threw around a bunch of ideas, and like the last minute, those guys all came out from the West Coast, the people that did it, and we weren't even sure what to go with. And the kid that stars in it, my friend Evan, we just figured he'd play the creep, man, and he's really good at it. So just I think it came off. He's a cool guy. I have a lot of fun with that guy.
There's people out there who might say, God damn, that's the way it is in New York or something, you know?
Well, sometimes, but we had to import the creepy guy from California. That's where he was from. The crazy guy at the end. He's a friend of ours.
You guys are on the road here in San Antonio again. What's the plan for the rest of this year? Do you continue to want to tour into the new millennium?
Yeah, well, when the album was released in February, we went right to Europe. Then we did a U.S. tour with Slayer. Then we went to Japan and back to Europe, and now we're here.
You know what? Hold on. I was in McAllen and with Slayer and Meshuggah, and I was like, where the fuck is Sick of It All?
We couldn't make it. We were still in Europe.
Oh, my God.
They had booked us on the show, and we called them up. We were like, we can't do it. We're still in Europe. But they wanted us to cancel our last 2 shows in Europe to fly down, and we couldn't, man.
There were a lot of pissed off people there, dude, including me.
Oh, man.
Where the hell is Sick of It All?
Hope you guys, we're sorry, everybody, but, we're making up coming through now, yeah.
You know what's really cool about the down, that far down in the south of Texas, there were a lot of people in the parking lots, cars that I would see parked. A lot of people came over even from Mexico for that show.
I know, we were hoping to get to McAllen on this tour, but I don't know, I think we're not big enough to headline in McAllen yet, we hope to get there soon, because we've had good shows there before.
Cool. Was Craig working on this record as far as, I've been working with Trevor at Nasty Little Man Management. He hooked me up tonight. I want to give him props for that. You guys, like I said earlier, have maintained a strong presence. How do you feel about the state, I guess, in the country of about underground music and keeping it alive and all that, for those people out there who still do believe? And I think right now it's coming a little bit back up, you think?
Yeah, I think it very recently started. I thought it was going down for a while. It seemed like in America it was all being swallowed up by media hype. Like, people weren't seeking it out themselves. They were just waiting with their mouth open, blindfolded, for people to shove shit in their face. But now I think it's making a comeback a little bit. I see from these shows it's doing real well. I see that AFI draws a large number of people to these shows every night, as well as Hot Water Music and Indecision. All 4 bands, we're all doing our share, and I think it's doing really well, man. I'm pretty happy about it. I think everything's going great. It is on the upswing, and I'm glad for it.
What are some of the bands that you think are going to make an impact in the scene?
I really think AFI is going to be a big band. I see the way people act when they play, and people come up to me and they say, "Hey, you're in Sick of It All. Good to meet you." They're respectful and nice, but when they see Davey, they can't even talk to him. They see him as beyond themselves, and when a band is looked at as beyond ordinary people, usually, in my experience, they get really big, because people want to grab onto things that they feel that they can't touch themselves in their own lives. It's a weird psychological thing, and I think that's how you create rock stars and millionaire bands. That's why we're never going to be one of those bands.
Fucking regular guys,
But that's all cool. We're just doing our thing, and not that, don't misunderstand me, Davey is a regular guy, but people perceive him like that for whatever reason, just because he's got a great voice and he's cool and stuff, so people like that. But I think AFI is going to be huge. I think Indecision is going to do real well. Hot Water Music, I think every band in this bill is doing real well. There's a lot of good bands out there, There's a lot of good. It's hard to just pick and choose which ones, but there's a lot of good bands, man. Good riddance, It's just a lot of the bands I like, I don't think will ever get huge, because they're jeans and t-shirt people. You know what I'm saying? They eat with their mouth and shit with their ass, and people don't want that. People want you to be floating in the stars all the time, and that's just not gonna happen for us. Sorry.
How about you, Pete? You got any mentionables there that you want to add?
Kid Dynamite from New Jersey is really good. Who else?
Some of these bands, you have to remember that a lot of people down here will not know, and they're going to remember, these guys first mentioned them. Probably find some information on the internet about them.
Definitely Kid Dynamite, Hatebreed, I'm sure people have heard of. I think they're working on their next record. We're doing, at the end of this tour, we're doing a big show in New York with us, Hatebreed, Hot Water Music, and Indecision, so that should be good. AFI can't do it, they're going out with Danzig and Sam Hain. What do you think of that, the Sam Hain reunion with Danzig reunion?
I think that, believe it or not, the first ever Texas Metal Fest will be here in San Antonio, November 5th and 6th. Really? Danzig will headline the second day.
Sure. Wish we could play it too,
man.
We're going to be up in Canada. We'll be far away where it's cold. Don't forget, think about us that day, We'll be up where it's cold.
Wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Any last words for the people out there in San Antonio that they should know about the band? People always want to keep up with Sick of It All.
Just I hope they like the new record, and we're glad that for all their support over all these years. We came here the first time with DRI, I think in 1990, and it was amazing. From then on, every time we come through here, we've had loyal fans and friends, and it's great.
Thanks. How about you, Craig? Any last words?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out to the shows and for all these years helping support us and appreciating the fact that we're trying. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's busting their ass and I'm just glad that people can appreciate us, and it's not us playing music in a band, it's you coming to see us is the other part of that equation. So it's not us, don't look at us like we're anything special. It's you that comes to the show it's the two parts go together as a whole. So thank you very much to everybody. I'm serious. Maybe it sounds corny, but that's really what I think,
I think that's how we've kept the scene alive after all these years.
Exactly. I think that's really the essence of the whole thing, Bands get big, bands stay small, whatever happens, you can count on us. We're just going to be playing the same shit for years. It's a joke. It's a joke.
One last thing before I go. I know that the band hasn't played in New York lately. Is that true? Has it been kind of difficult to book some shows in your hometown?
There are places, but they're huge, and they want it. We could play them, we could fill them, but the thing is, we don't feel comfortable like that.
Right.
And we did have this medium-sized club booked for 2 nights, and then they turned around and they sold the club to Puff Daddy to make a restaurant. So he's not going to have any hardcore bands playing in his restaurant, so that's the end of that.
Even more of a reason to hate that motherfucker.
Not just for his horrible video and bad music.
I on the TV. I told my niece, turn that shit off.
Nah, man.
Cool. Thanks, Lou, man. Thank you for taking the time for the fans. Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks.
For the fans of San Antonio who definitely want to keep up with Sick of It All, remember San Antonio, the new one is called Call to Arms. Be sure to look for it on Fat Records. This is Rob, and remember, Sick of It All fucking rocks right here on Rob's Metalworks. We'll see you next week.